topic for ladies that have fibroids or endometriosis or other reproductive health issues or ovarian cysts. Okay. The reason why this is really important because I'm getting more and more women who have come to me who have uterine scarring due to surgeries on the uterus, right? Whether that's myomectomies, whether that's removing cysts, or it's just a mess. It's just a mess. So I'm going to talk about it and the risk factors of having these multiple myomectomies, because guess what? Fibroids, if you have fibroids or any reproductive health issue, when you guys have these surgeries, they grow back. So a lot of women are having multiple surgeries, right? And they're not really thinking about the risk factors because unfortunately doctors are not bringing this up. So it can present an issue. It can present an issue later on for so many things, okay? So we're gonna talk about it. Thank you so much for the likes. I appreciate it. So let's get the likes. Let's like the video so more women can get up on in here, okay? Welcome YouTube. If you're watching, click the like button as well as the thumbs up button. Let's talk about it. And if you're watching as well, be sure to subscribe to the channel, all right? Especially if you like all things holistic healing when it comes to womb health, okay? Something really important that a lot of women are suffering with womb-related issues, okay? So let's get that out of the way, all right? Hope you guys are doing amazing. Let me know where you guys are watching from. I would love to know where you all are watching from, if you don't mind. We tend to get women in the country, out of the country, so I would love to know where you guys are watching from before we get started. And for those that are new, welcome. My name is Sasha, and I'm a holistic womb specialist, okay? So I help women who have reproductive health issues like fibroids, endometriosis, ovarian cysts, even infertility issues, get to the root causes of these issues in order to fully heal from them, in order to fully dissolve fibroids, in order to fully dissolve cysts, endometriosis, adenomyosis, in order to fully heal from PCOS, in order to get to the root cause of what creates these issues in the first place. Because you cannot heal anything unless you get to the root of the problem, right? What a lot of you guys are doing with these temporary treatments and surgeries are just putting a Band-Aid on a bigger problem. You're not getting to the root cause of the problem. And that's going to, down the line, present a bigger problem, right? And we're going to talk about uterine scarring and what all of these myomectomies that you're getting, all of these uterine surgeries are doing to the uterus, okay? Especially because a lot of women that get myomectomies want to, in the future, have children. A lot of you want to have children, right? So we got to talk about what it's actually doing to your uterus, right? Because that's what that's something they don't talk about. All right. And if you've had one fibroid surgery, more than likely they will they will tend to coerce you to have another one, right? Because especially if you want to have children, because they're making it seem like this is the only way to get rid of fibroids, and it's not. It's not. Okay. So we're going to learn about that today. Again, as you're coming in, tap on the like button, like the video, so we can get up in here, okay? We get started. If you're dealing with fibroids, feel free to put a 1 in the chat. If you have any other reproductive health issues, let me know in the chat. I would love to know if you guys are dealing with fibroids. Hi, YouTube. YouTube, click the like button. We're talking about multiple uterine, thank you, Adele. Okay, so we're dealing, okay. Thank you for the likes, okay. PCOS, okay. So definitely, all of you ladies that are dealing with PCOS, that are dealing with, it's that some of the comments are not being approved, which is so weird. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know why. Okay, so let's talk about it. Okay? And if you're going to want to be following this channel if you're into holistic healing, right? When it comes to womb health. If you want to learn more, you're going to want to be following me if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you are on TikTok, be sure to click the follow button, all right? So, and let me know, have any of you guys had surgery on your uterus? Have any of you guys had a myomectomy? Have any of you guys had surgery to remove fibroids or cysts or polyps or any of these surgeries, right? So repeated surgeries on the uterus, and sometimes this can even be one, right? They're typically used to often, unfortunately, to treat issues like fibroids and cysts and endometriosis and adenomyosis, right? To remove the tissue and the fibroids and polyps. But these can have serious implications on your reproductive health, in case you guys did not know, okay? Myomectomies, like, they're cutting into the uterus. And a lot of people are not really thinking about that. They're just thinking that, oh, they're getting the fibroids out. but they're not thinking about the aftermath. A lot of women have blocked tubes due to myomectomies, due to them removing fibroids, right? So due to the scar tissue that it causes, that's something they don't talk about, right? So it's essential that you are aware of all the long-term risks that can happen. And if you want to have children after this, you definitely want to be aware, right? You definitely want to be aware, right? So let's talk about scar tissue formation, because they don't talk about this. This is something doctors never talk about, the scar tissue that can occur due to having these surgeries. And the more you have, and the reason why I want to talk about this too is because I have more women coming to me with these issues, and I've had many clients who've had scar tissue due to multiple surgeries, right? So this is why I really want to talk about this topic, because this is something that you're just given the, you're only given one side when it comes to these surgeries. Oh, you can get rid of fibroids, or you can get rid of these reproductive health issues, but you're not giving the other side. Okay, what are the risk factors? What is going on? What happens when they grow back? Because they do, right? Nobody's telling that side, right? So each surgical procedure you have on the uterus. Remember, the uterus also too, just like you cut into any area of your body, when you cut into your uterus too, you're going to experience scarring, right? So the more you cut into the uterus, the more scar tissue builds up, and they form what is called adhesions, right? And this scar tissue can develop internally, leading to, you also, not even in the uterus, also too can attach to the fallopian tubes, right? It can attach to the ovaries as well. This happens a lot with adhesions, right? The scar tissue when we're dealing with surgery. So it can also disrupt the normal function of of your uterus. How many times have women had surgery and then they notice that something isn't right? They've had surgeries and maybe it's harder to get pregnant. This is something they're not telling you. This is something they're not telling you, right? So it can really disrupt the normal functioning of your uterus. Let me know in the chat. And this could lead to chronic pelvic pain. This could lead to fertility issues, right? There was a woman, what is her name? Deandra Sanders. She's Deion Sanders. You guys know the sports person, right? I'm not really into sports like that, but the sports person's daughter, right? So she's really popular because of him. So she recently had a baby, thank God, a healthy baby and everything, but she's in her early 30s and recently had, what was it, 4 fibroid surgeries. No, not recently. She's had 4 fibroid surgeries, ladies. 4. Okay, so so she just had a son. So when she got pregnant, she also had fibroids, because again, the fibroid surgeries do not get to the root cause of the problem. She was lucky. She had lots of issues during her pregnancy. As a matter of fact, she had to go through surgery while she was pregnant, right? She was dealing with, I think, what was the surgery called? I don't know if it was the surgery called or what was the condition called. But her cervix literally was opening, like early, in the pregnancy, way earlier than it was supposed to. So she literally had to have, it closed. She had to go through surgery, right? And this is a dangerous surgery, right? Because again, women have had miscarriages due to that surgery. So it was a very risky surgery, but she had no choice, right? So I wanted to share that story because I don't want more women due to these surgeries are putting themselves into that situation, and you don't want to do that. The more you have surgery, the more you weaken the uterus, right? We don't think about it like that, but it's the truth. The more we having these myomectomies and these surgeries, even the UFE procedures, right? So I want to make that very clear. And if you think that you have to have surgery and this is something you have to go through, no, you don't. You don't have to have surgery. This is something that you have to, when you have fibroids. A lot of women think they have to have surgery. They have to have the UFE procedure. This is the only way to get rid of fibroids, and it's not. I want to make that very clear. So Mar says some women get infertile. Yeah, some women do get infertile due to that surgery. Surgery also causes other issues. It does. It does. And Marsha, if I'm not mistaken, you've been through it, so you know, right? So, and I know that we tend to get women on these lives that are maybe have a surgery scheduled, and they think that this is the only way that they can address their fibroids. And women tend to have surgery when they are desperate. Okay, they come back like, hey, Marquita, yes, she's actually one of our amazing testimonials. They come back, yes. Fibroids come back. These cysts come back. These polyps come back when you don't address the root cause, okay? You don't address the root cause. You gotta address the root cause. They come back. So what's the point of going through this traumatic surgery when you're just gonna regrow the fibroid? It doesn't make any sense. And get scar tissue, and sometimes for some women, they even get blocked tubes due to this surgery. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm telling you what your doctor's not gonna tell you. I'm telling you what your doctor's not going to tell you, okay? So it's really important. Let me know. Look, I would love to hear your experience, ladies. If you've had surgery, put a 1 in the chat. If you had surgery to get rid of, fibroids or cysts or any of these reproductive health issues, put a 1 in the chat. Don't be shy. Let's talk about it, okay? Or any of these procedures. Yeah, exactly. If you've had surgery, thank you, Marquita. So also too, you have to understand that the womb is very flexible, right? It is made to, you guys know the uterus can go from being the regular size to expanding, and be able to hold a baby. But unfortunately, repeated surgeries can cause issues with that as well, with the flexibility of your uterus, okay? I love your 6-week program. Okay, wait, so we're gonna go thoughts on coconut yogurt. It's fine, as long as it doesn't have dairy in it. May, don't forget, we have a Zoom call tomorrow. That's where I'll answer all the questions, okay? But yes, coconut yogurt is fine, all right? So, had myomectomy, and yes, Marquita, please let them know. She had a myomectomy and UFE and still has fibroids. She's now shrinking her fibroids naturally, and you guys have more than likely seen her before and after picture. Oh my God, amazing, amazing. I was in Memphis then, moved to Texas, and the doctors still don't give real support and answers. Yeah, this is a global thing. This is a global thing, okay? Permanent creams cause fibroids in modern times. Yeah, they always have. It's not just modern times. Perms have always caused, yeah, I'm against them, absolutely, because of the endocrine disruptors. So yeah, I don't know if you're a guy or a woman, but but yes, absolutely. But it's very true. It doesn't matter what state you're in. This is a global issue. There's women in India going through fibroids, because we look at it, when we're in the US, we're kind of like in a bubble. We think that we just focus on the US, and I get it, right? A lot of times, right? But traveling and talking to so many women all over the world and having clients all over the world, this is a global issue. From Africa to India to all over Europe, it's sad. The Caribbean, women all over the place are dealing with this, okay? I'm so glad I found someone who actually teaches about hormonal and reproductive health. You're welcome, Marquita. Yes, absolutely. It's necessary, because guess what? You cannot address fibroids. You cannot address, these reproductive health issues unless you address your hormones, unless you address the root causes. Honestly, have learned a lot, and I realized it's a mind shift towards healing. Thank you, Sasha. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you. Keep up the great work, okay? Keep up the great work, all right? So, if you're going through these surgeries, ladies, this can cause a loss of flexibility. And I'm not trying to scare anybody that's been through these surgeries. I'm not trying to scare you guys, but I'm saying of course, the uterus is amazing. It's a very strong organ. Again, with you healing your body, it can also, strengthen. You can also strengthen your uterus. You can tone your uterus. But unfortunately, a lot of women don't know that, and a lot of women kind of look at the body as it's supposed to deteriorate as we get older. And you looking at your body like that is actually to your own detriment, right? This is why you have women in their 40s, in their late 30s going through it with perimenopause. Everybody's talking about perimenopause. It's like people are acting like it's a new phenomenon, right? When it's essentially just hormonal imbalances. But, it's apparently from the way they describe it, it's something your body's supposed to just break down at 40. And, you're supposed to, again, suffer all of these symptoms when that's hormonal imbalances. No, you're supposed to actually support your body in restoring your hormonal balance, right? So a lot of, man, that is such a terrible generational lie. Listen, and these women are believing this, and just their whole personality is perimenopause. There's so many groups on Facebook. There's so much content on it, and they're all complaining about the symptoms, not understanding that You don't have to live like this. You can naturally support your body in actually restoring your own hormonal balance. I've had many clients who thought they were in perimenopause and also had fibroids as well and other reproductive health issues, and all their symptoms are gone. Their fibroids shrink and dissolve when they're supporting their body and giving it what it needs. I refuse to believe that for myself in my lineage. Exactly. And listen, that whole thing, perimenopause thing, was created by modern medicine, okay? Because when it comes to the Western medical system, right, it's very patriarchal, very patriarchal. So number one, they don't believe the uterus is they believe the uterus is a useless organ unless you're pregnant. That's number one. When it comes to women's health, they don't take it seriously, and they failed women when it comes to women's health. I wish you guys would open your eyes and see that. How they are with women's health is very they have women thinking that their body shut down at 40 and that's it. They can't get pregnant and they have to live with perimenopause symptoms for the next 15 years, which is absolutely ridiculous. And they have women really believing this. They brainwash women to really think this is real. It's ridiculous. Not saying their symptoms are real, but it's not because of, this imaginary monster perimenopause. It's because of hormonal collapse, right? I've been to many doctors, no help. I refuse to believe that for myself in my lineage. Absolutely. No, absolutely not. We don't, exactly. I wish women would want better for themselves and stop believing these lies that Western medicine is telling them, okay? I've been to many different doctors. Many different doctors about what? And let me just say this. Doctors can only help with so much, okay? Doctors can only help with I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Doctors are not there to heal. We expect them to help us with fibroids. What can they do besides surgeries, medications, and birth control? They're not there to actually get to the root cause of the problem. Doctors are not there to heal you. They're not. They're there to medicate, to diagnose, to cut you open, right? So when it comes to reproductive health, they serve you no good. I'm just gonna be honest with you. They really serve you no good. And that might be controversial for some people to hear that, but it's the truth. Because as somebody that myself, if you're on my email list, I've told my fibroid story, and also if you're on my YouTube channel, I'm sure some of you guys have seen the video, okay, that I talked about 2 years ago, that I recorded 2 years ago about my own fibroid surgery. You go from doctor to doctor to doctor, it's the same thing, right? They will have you just spinning around in circles, going to doctor's appointments. It's a waste of your time. There's not much they can do for you besides surgery. They're not going to tell you the root cause. They're not going to tell you. They don't know why you developed the fibroids. They're not going to tell you any type of lifestyle adjustments. They're not going to do that. So why are you wasting your time over there? I keep telling women are still going to, even women that follow me, some of them are still going to doctors all the time for fibroids and wasting their time and becoming more frustrated, more anxious, more so anxiety. They're trying to force you to have surgery, push surgery down your throat, right? And then you ask them, you ask them, okay, what happens when they come back? They have nothing to say. Oh, we'll just do another surgery. Or we just take out the whole uterus. Like, come on now. Premenopause is accelerated by chemicals in our foods and drinks. Absolutely. Even the chemicals in the hair. Excuse me, not in the hair, excuse me. Even the chemicals in the air. Even everywhere, plastics, everything, right? But it's also it's mostly lifestyle. Foods, drinks, all that stuff. Lifestyle, right? That's something we overlook. Yes, please make those changes, with your food, your drinks, and all that stuff. But also, it's lifestyle. What is your lifestyle like? If you live an overly stressful, chaotic lifestyle, what do you expect? And you've lived that for decades. Of course, it's going to catch up with you, and that is what is called perimenopause. But you're supposed to support your body in actually healing, support your organs in actually healing and getting your body back in balance. Not sit there and take fake hormones, synthetic hormones that actually do more harm on the back end. Don't get me started on that, okay? So anyway, but let's talk about these uterine surgeries, right? And how that they do affect the cervix. They do affect the uterus as well, right? They do compromise the integrity of the uterus. They do. I'm sorry. The more you cut into your uterus, what do you expect? And they do increase the risk of complications during childbirth. They do. This is why a lot of women who've had these uterine surgeries get C-sections as well, right? Because of the increased risk of complications, right? Each surgical procedure, yes, carries risk, but the risk of infection, bleeding out, and all these other things, right? And also risks to surrounding the fallopian tubes, ovaries and all that. But the more surgeries you have, which I'm seeing a lot of women that's having 3 surgeries to get rid of fibroids, 4 surgeries to get rid of fibroids. The more surgeries that you have, the more you're taking on the risk. And some women are even getting the uterine adhesions, the scar tissue from 1 surgery. I've had a client who worked with me for 6 months, but when she first came to me, she had fibroids, endometriosis, and adenomyosis, and she had surgery for fibroids a few years back and had scar tissue as well in the uterus due to the previous surgery. Her scar tissue was so bad, her adhesions were so bad that her doctors couldn't even see, when they're doing the MRI and all this stuff, and when they're doing the sonogram, ultrasound, or whatever, they couldn't even see her ovaries. They were that bad, right? So it's unfortunately, she worked with me in my Detoxify Your Womb program for 6 months, and we were able to not only dissolve the scar tissue, also dissolve her endometriomas, which are those blood-filled cysts due to, when you have endometriosis, sometimes you get the blood-filled cysts. They were very large. We were able to completely dissolve that. Also, too, we were able to get rid of all traces of adenomyosis, endometriosis. She was endometriosis-free, adenomyosis-free. Her fibroids had shrunk extremely, from large to extremely much, much smaller. And her periods were so much better because her periods were extremely bad before, where she would have 16-day cycles, okay? Yes, so her quality of life has drastically improved since working with me. So I just want to say that the scar tissue can dissolve, but again, modern medicine has, unfortunately, they have nothing for that. Right? It's, again, naturally, your body can dissolve tumors and growths and scar tissue naturally, but you gotta, again, your body wants to heal. Your body wants to get rid of any foreign things that are going to get in the way of you being at your optimum level of health. But you have to get out of your body's way and let it do its job. And a lot of us are getting in our body's way of healing, okay? The way we carry ends up being the weight we carry. Yes, it does. And these fibroids too also represent the weight that what you've carried. This is to everybody that's dealing with fibroids or any of these reproductive health issues, the weight you've carried. It represents stagnation in the body and also stagnation energetically as well. It represents more than just like waste, right? It's your body. So if you have fibroids, your body is not dispelling waste appropriately like it's supposed to. It's not your elimination organs are backed up. Right? The digestive system, the liver, the kidneys are not filtering the way they're supposed to. So we got to also support our organs to do their job, right? So that our body doesn't have backed up waste, right? Because again, I always say this, fibroids is not just a uterine problem, it's a full body issue, okay? So again, like I said, repeated surgeries, these myomectomies, this is what they're not going to tell you. Even the UFE procedure, they can have implications on future. If you want to have a child in the future, right? They can have implications on that, right? If we're dealing with blocked tubes due to scar tissue from these surgeries, that's going to present a problem. If we're dealing with a weakened cervix due to the cutting into the uterus over and over again, that's going to present a problem, right? If you're dealing with scar tissue, that could impact you being able to conceive, right? So you have to also take that into account. This is why natural healing is top tier. This is why healing the body is top tier, okay? It's important that you get to the root cause of the issue, okay? You get to the root of the issue, right? So also too, they said that these surgeries can cause uterine rupture if you get pregnant in the future. So this is why a lot of women that have had these surgeries end up doing a C-section, right? End up having a C-section. What about also too, if you've had these surgeries, if you've had especially multiple myomectomies, multiple surgeries to get rid of fibroids and endo, there's some women that's had I've encountered so many women that's had like up to 5 to 7 surgeries for endometriosis, and it's scary. And the women that have endometriosis, they're just going for a surgery, and they're thinking that this is their only way out, their only way to feel relief, and it's just not true. It's not true. It's scary, how much surgery the women that have endometriosis are having. It's wild to me. It's wild. I'm hearing that women, even before they turn 18, they're having surgeries for endometriosis. You guys, you're setting yourself up. And when you have these issues, you also are, and this is why a lot of women who've had endometriosis also end up developing breast cancer. Not saying that's going to happen to you, but again, if we don't take care of our hormones, if we don't take care of our hormone, again, that affect our bodily functions, and we're dealing with estrogen dominance for years and years and years, what can happen is that that opens us up for, you know, things, other estrogen dominant cancers. So I'm not saying you're going to get cancer, but if you don't get to the root cause of the problem when it comes to endometriosis, when it comes to fibroids, when it comes to PCOS, right, what can happen is that your risk for other estrogen dominant cancers are higher, such as, you know, breast cancer, uterine cancer. These cancers are going up. Like, look at the rates, and they're affecting a lot of women before the age of 40. It's getting scary, right? Uterine cancer, right? So all of these endometrial cancer is nothing to joke with. It's nothing to joke with. So what about the stress and anxiety of having to undergo surgery? What about the stress and anxiety of fearing your fertility? Because what tends to happen too when women have fibroids, when women have these issues, again, they tend to have fear for their fertility. What about girls who have these hormonal issues at early ages? Woo! Let's talk about that really quickly. Because listen, definitely that's estrogen dominance at an early age. And a lot of women that have fibroids or PCOS or ovarian cysts or heavy bleeding, they've had their period early. And when I say early, before the age of 13, 14, really 14, honestly, because back in the day, 50 years ago, women were having their periods, their first period between 14 and 17, around there. That was normal. Now little girls are having their period at 8, 9. No, that's hormonal issues. They're going through puberty at earlier ages. That's hormonal issues, right? And moms are passing these toxins down to their children. These estrogen, also too, not only their daughters, their sons. Notice how testosterone rates have taken a dive, right? And men with higher estrogen have increased, right? Due to you can see it in the breast tissue, right? Men are developing prostate issues at earlier ages. ED is at an all-time high, not even for older men. This is 20s, 30s, right? It's a huge, so everybody suffers. When mom don't heal, everybody suffers. And it's not only for your lineage, it's for you, so you can have a good quality of life. What happens when mom doesn't heal? She passes this crap along. And the dad too, right? So it's important, but mom sets the stage for health in the household. We know that. We know that. The feminine, right? And for the health in the household, the woman, right? So I'm looking at y'all. Get your act together. We cannot accept this as our normal. I did a video, I don't know if it's posted yet, it's probably in my drafts if it hasn't posted yet, where this woman had designed these huge pads for women that have heavy bleeding. They were so big. And I'm like, don't tell me it has come to this. And she said that they're about $40 to $50 a piece, but I think they're like in Canadian dollars, so they equal out to like, $30 to $40 in US dollars. But still, each. Instead of women getting to the root cause of the issue of why they're bleeding like that, they're accepting that as normal and buying these huge pads. No, we gotta stop it. We cannot continue to embrace sickness as our new normal. Women are suffering, and then also anxiety is getting, the rates of depression and anxiety is getting higher. Just like these reproductive health issues are getting higher, so is the rates of anxiety and depression. They have a correlation. It's a direct correlation, because if you have fibroids, if you have endometriosis, if you have ovarian cysts, any of these reproductive health issues, guess what? And you're dealing with estrogen, you are dealing with estrogen dominance. That again means that the ratio to estrogen and progesterone is off, is out of balance, meaning that your progesterone is more than likely very low. Okay? The meaning that this is gonna increase anxiety, depression, right? Mood swings. You're not feeling as yourself. Understand that when your hormones are out of balance, they affect all of your bodily functions. including your brain activity. So it's like you're not even like when your hormones are out of balance, you are out of balance. You're not even really yourself. This is why they say things like birth control alters you, like your brain chemistry, right? Because again, when your hormones are not functioning the way they're supposed to, or with birth control, what's going on is that they're suppressing your own natural hormones and infusing you with fake hormones. You're not you, right? Even what you're attracted to is not you. Your moods are different, right? So we have to stop accepting being medicated in order to be normal. Women have accepted this for years. A lot of women have been on birth control for decades just to feel normal or think they feeling normal, but it's not really them feeling normal. It's them just putting a Band-Aid on a bigger problem, a hormonal imbalance. And then once you get 40, they're putting you on HRT, what is the hormone replacement therapy. So they essentially told women that there's something wrong with your body. That's what Western medicine has done, and we've accepted that for too long. We have to stop, right? We have to stop. So these surgeries do not address the root cause. So after you went through all that surgery, you've gotten, you've recovered all the traumatic pain of these surgeries, you're not even getting to the root cause of the problem. So guess what? The fibroids come back. The endometriosis comes back. The tissue grows back. They come back, and a lot of times when they come back with a vengeance, okay? So understand that. And then you guys are having these surgeries, and you're already anemic. So then you're losing more blood. It doesn't make any sense. You're putting your body in a more compromised state, because when you have these surgeries, your body's already compromised. Your health is already compromised. So you're putting your body at a more compromised state when you're having these surgeries, okay? So it's important. You should want to get to the root of the issue. You should want to get to the root, whatever fibroids, endometriosis, get to the root cause and heal these issues naturally, so they don't create bigger issues in the long run. Good day, my first time here. Welcome. Make sure that you're following. Welcome. So these, like, a lot of times when we've been told that, a lot of times we think surface level when it comes to health. A lot of us have been trained to think that way when it comes to health. Unfortunately, we've been trained to think very surface level and not dig deep and get to the root of the issue. And it's to our own detriment. And you as a woman, you have to be more curious about that, right? You have to do more research. This is why I have these lives. You have to want to get to the root of, why did my body develop fibroids? Why did my body develop cysts? Why did my body develop these issues? Don't just sit there and let them cut up all in you and take out your uterus and no. And don't even get me started on a number of women that have had myomectomies. They've gone in to have myomectomies and they've taken out their uteruses. And that's because they will say, oh, you're bleeding too much, or they'll make up some excuse, right? Because if you literally sign a paper, that says, when you're having fibroids, when you're having a myomectomy, you sign a paper saying if they have to have a hysterectomy, then, you have to sign that paper in order to have the surgery, right? So it's really important that you understand that. So you're risking them removing your uterus for whatever reason. And I remember that it was somebody in my family who is, who's a lawyer. Her husband's a lawyer, and they were representing somebody that happened to. That literally, they went in to have a myomectomy. She was young. She was only 29 years old. She went in with her fiance. And they claimed that during the surgery, they were having some type of complications. I think she was bleeding too much because, of course, you have fibroids. So they said that this is what their excuse was. They thought that the fiance was her husband. So they asked him, hey, we're trying to save her life here. We're gonna have a hysterectomy. And he approved it. I guess, he's a man, he didn't know, right? So they ended up taking out her whole uterus. So she had so many complications, it was a mess. So she ended up having to sue. So now 29 years old, wanting to get married, wanting to have children, they've taken that away from her. They've taken that away from her. So be very careful. I don't want to get started. Yeah. I have endometriosis in my GYN and told me it got worse. Yeah, it's endometriosis. And I was saying this earlier, that a lot of women that have endometriosis, they're easily coerced them to get surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery after surgery. I have hernia and fibroid. Okay, you're in the right place. definitely in the right place. I actually just, like I said, I had a client recently that I worked with that had hernia and fibroid, and all of her symptoms, like I said, had disappeared. All of her symptoms have disappeared. Her fibroid belly drastically went down. She was having so many issues before, and she feels so much better. Her health improved drastically. My doctor said iron was too low due to menstrual cycles. Iron is still a 9 and ferritin a 10. So that means, okay, do you have, Fally, do you have issues? Do you have fibroids or any reproductive health issues? I don't want to do surgery. What can I do? Get to the root cause of the problem. For fibroids, right? Address your, okay, so if we have fibroids, more than likely for a lot of women that have fibroids, menstrual cycle is also an issue, right? Unfortunately, that can happen with fibroids, right? Majority of women that have fibroids have issues with their menstrual cycle. So what you want to do, yes, we want to work towards getting our iron up, but as you're healing your body and getting to the root cause of your fibroid, that's going to help your body get your iron up as well, okay? So when women are working with me, the first, I would say, couple of weeks, we're working aggressively on getting the iron up, because that's important. Your body doesn't function right if your iron levels are low. Your organs, your vital organs are not even getting enough oxygen if your iron is low. Your fibroids are not going to shrink if your iron is low. It's not going to happen. So it's important that you, oh my God, 5, not a 5. Woo. It's important that you actually lessen the bleeding and increase the iron. That's important, okay? How can I get help from you? So for those that are interested in working with me, I do have we'll say 2 different ways right now. You can also email me. But for those, we do have our 2-month intensive inside of our Detoxify Your Womb program opening up on June 1st, and we're taking clients for that right now. If you're interested in working with me, our amazing Detoxify Your Womb program that has helped women eliminate fibroids, from endometriosis to eliminate adenomyosis to getting pregnant naturally. If you're on my TikTok, I have a couple of testimonials in my my stories on my page. And if you're watching from YouTube, go down the community tab, okay, and look at those posts. Look at the testimonials, right? We've had amazing testimonials inside of our Detoxify Your Womb program, and I'm opening it up on June 1st to work with me powerfully for 2 months for our 2-month intensive, okay? So if you're interested in that, feel free to click the link in my bio to get more information on that. If you're watching from YouTube, excuse me, the link is in the description box. If not, we also have our 6-week womb healing course, self-study course. This is a self-study course, but it's like my high-level trainings that I use on my clients, packaged in one, right? It is amazing course. If you're really trying to heal and start today, get that course. The course is only available until the 20th. I think Wednesday is the last day. Wednesday is on the 20th. Is the last day that we have that available on our site. It is my high-level teachings, my high level on getting rid of fibroids and getting rid of, we even have how to dissolve a fibroid belly in there, like that training in there. We have 15 steps to fibroid elimination in there, where I go in depth, step by step, teaching you how to get rid of your fibroids. It is absolutely amazing. We have also, let me go down the list. We have our womb wellness plan checklist. And if you have other reproductive health issues, also too, this is going to be very helpful, right? Our holistic hormone healing blueprint as well. How to reset and rebalance your hormones the correct way. Because so many women, like I said, don't understand and know that, right? How to start anytime now I'm sick and weak. I just told you. I just told you the 6-week womb healing self-study course, okay? Click the link in my bio and get the course if you're trying to start today, okay? The link is in my bio. All information is there. For the self-study course, that one is $497, okay? Life-saving information on how to get, also too, we have our custom 7-day detoxes, womb detoxes in there as well. That's our high-level trainings. We have so many trainings in there. It's so much information in there, okay? So what do? I just said it. Were you listening? How to get started. Okay, I'm seeing the same questions over and over again. What do? I just said it. You guys need me to repeat it again? Right? The link in my bio. We have a 6-week womb healing self-study course literally with our high-level trainings on how to get rid of fibroids, how to dissolve a fibroid belly, womb wellness checklist, you know, making sure that what you're doing every single day is supporting womb healing. We also have custom 7-day womb detoxes in there. So many things, how to reconnect with your feminine energy, which needs to be done if you have any of these issues, okay? It's important. Do you give us tips or, okay, so let me just say this. Okay, I'm going to block this person because that was a stupid question. I give so much information on my lives and I give so much information on my videos. I have hundreds of videos on TikTok, on YouTube, okay? And the reason, let me just say this as well. A lot of you guys have been looking for free information online for years, right? And I get it. There's so much free information online on TikTok, on YouTube, but you don't have a framework. You don't have a structured framework, right? And that is why it's not sticking. You're piecing together free information. So for people that are serious, that if you just want to watch the free stuff, that's fine. I have tons of TikTok videos. I have tons of YouTube videos. Well, I live in Jamaica. Okay, our services are global. I have tons of information, right? Feel free, have at it, right? Go through my TikTok, go through my YouTube channel, I have Facebook, Instagram, go through all that stuff, right? But if there's women that follow me, that are watching, that are wanting to actually, that are serious about healing, right? They don't have time to do all that. They want to get to the point and get healed. Okay, I'm talking to them. I'm not telling you have to invest in your health. I'm not telling you that. See, you guys don't say this to these doctors though. These insurance premiums, you guys don't say that you're literally wasting your money going to get all this testing, and still end up with the fibroids. I'm actually healing people. We get testimonials, we get people pregnant. You see what I'm saying? So all of these people don't want holistic practitioners like me to charge, but they want, like I said, they're okay with their doctors charging, not giving them anything. That's crazy to me. But anyway, we're gonna pass by that point. Okay, I really want to heal now too much. I want to get well. Okay, listen. Everybody should want to heal. Nobody should want to keep the fibroids. Nobody should want to keep these issues because they do affect your overall wellness. They do affect your overall health. Okay, when you have these issues, when you continue to prolong healing, and I say this. Even if you don't want to work with me, that's fine, but work with somebody that's going to get you to the root cause of the issue, that's going to help you heal from the issue, okay? Do not just keep these problems for years and years and years, and understand that surgery, again, these surgeries that you guys are having literally cost $18,000. Look at how much it really costs. These hysterectomies, these surgeries, all of these surgeries you guys are having. You guys think, because it comes out, you're still paying for it. You're still paying for it, right? So a lot of us are not thinking. We're in the place that we're at because we don't think that our wombs are worth investing into. Listen, when I had fibroids, and I had somebody like me online, unfortunately, social media, there was no TikTok, social media was a little bit there, but it wasn't like it is now. There wasn't information out there. There wasn't people out there helping women heal. There was not. Naturally from these issues. They were not online. If they were there, they weren't online. And I always say, if I would have had somebody like me that literally have helped women for years get rid of fibroids naturally, that have the receipts to prove it, I would have ran to it. But everybody's different, right? What is the shortest amount of time can someone heal for? It depends. I never give time. And I say that in almost every video somebody asks me that. I never give time. The reason why is because I don't know what you're doing to heal. That's number one. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know where you're at right now. I don't know, your level of inflammation, how many fibroids you have, what's going on with your health. I don't know how, some people, they come in serious about healing and they change everything. I don't even tell people that are wanting to be clients how long it's going to take them. I can tell you how long it could take some of my other clients, but you have to understand, you can't come in it's going to take me this long to heal, and then I can go back to my bad habits. You can't come in like that, because you have to come in like this is a lifestyle. Okay? So if you're looking to let me just change a couple things real quick, no, that's not going to work. So you want to, instead of you asking that question, you want to ask, you want to ask yourself, how long is it going to take you to change your entire lifestyle? How long is it going to take you to put these things into practice and actually truly get to the root cause of the problem and truly target the fibroid? Because some people come in, they do a little bit here, a little bit there. No, you come in and you go all in, because this is your livelihood that we're talking about, okay? This is your livelihood. Some people, they do want to take their time, and I work with people like that too. That's totally fine. But if you've been dealing with these fibroids for years, right? I'm assuming that you're at the point where you're tired. And a lot of times when we are at the point where we're tired, we tend to seek out, so we never want to get to the point where we're desperate, because there's too many women out there that are desperate when it comes to fibroids, and they end up getting a hysterectomy. This is the women that tend to be easy to coerce to get surgery because they're so desperate. They're just thinking about today and how they feel today. They're not thinking about how they feel down the line, how they're gonna feel a year from now. They're not thinking about the fibroids growing back a couple months from now, or a few months from. They're not thinking about that, right? So think about your health. Think about your health how can I say this? Think about your health as a long-term thing. I don't know how old a lot of you guys are. Mostly women that follow me are in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, right? When it comes to that, what you do now is literally setting yourself up for the next 30, 40 years of your life. So stop just thinking about today, how you feel today. No, think about how you're gonna feel next year, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, and make decisions based off that, okay? I'm trying to change my lifestyle now because I want them gone good. Just found out a few months I got them. Okay, you're in the right place. You're in the right place, okay? I would say I don't do iron pills. You want to do herbs. I'm willing to do the work naturally. Good, okay? Good. It's important. It's important. Because if you don't do it naturally, you're not getting rid of the root cause. You're just gonna, like I said, the problem will just come back. The problem is still there. I'm gonna keep saying that over and over again to everybody. If you don't heal these issues naturally by changing your actual lifestyle, and I'm not just talking about changing your diet. It's deeper than changing your diet. It's deeper than changing your diet, right? So if you don't actually get to the root cause of the problem, because if you have fibroids, if you have endometriosis, the way you've been living your life is not conducive to healing. The way you've been living physically, emotionally, mentally, is not conducive to you healing and thriving. It's gonna keep you in survival mode. When you have these issues, you're literally in survival mode, right? Energetically and everything. So it's important that you actually you wanna get out of this, I'm just existing, and actually start living and thriving. And you're talking to somebody that's been through these issues too. It's not fun. So it's when there's an issue with the womb, it's a full body issue. It's also a spiritual issue, right? And if we're dealing with fibroids, we're dealing with lots of stagnation energetically, a lot of emotional stagnation as well, not just physical, also emotional stagnation, right? So it's important that you, again, approach this and be serious and get to the root cause of the problem. Surgery can't take care of that. This is why they grow back, okay? So I want to make that very clear, okay? I want to make that very clear, okay? So I want to say this for those that are ready to be fibroid free. Again, we have our 2-month intensive where you can work with me powerfully for 2 months. We address your blind spots, really go out, and it's not going to be just changing diet. We're going to be changing diet, but we're doing much more than that. We're changing everything. If you're ready to work with me powerfully for 2 months, join the 2-month intensive. We start June 1st. Inside of our Detoxify Women program. Want to know information? TikTok, the link is in my bio. YouTube, the link is in my description box, okay? If you want to, again, if you want to work through a course, and that's going to help you with high-level trainings and high-level, literally help you, you'll see me coaching. It has so much information. It's literally the step-by-step how to get rid of fibroids, right? So much content, also how to restore your hormonal balance, how to get to the root cause of the problem, all of that stuff, right? And also how to balance and reset your hormones, right? How to heal anemia fast, how to decrease heavy bleeding, how to reconnect with your feminine energy, which needs to be done when you have womb-related issues, custom 7-day womb detoxes, and many, 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 many more. right? That's all in the 6-week womb healing self-study course. That course will only be available on my site for 2 more days until Wednesday's the last day. So if you are interested in that, click the link in my bio. Okay, click the link in my bio, grab the course, start your process now. Why wait? If you're interested in getting the course, again, it's a limited time offer because this is my high-level trainings that I use with my clients. This is what I help my clients get rid of, from fibroids to endo, to get pregnant naturally, right? All of these womb issues, again, that start off as hormonal, okay? Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Before I go, I hope you guys enjoyed this live. If you guys want to watch, if you came in the middle, which I think some people on TikTok did, the full replay is on YouTube, okay? Be sure to also subscribe, be a part of our YouTube family as well. I don't see any questions. I don't see any questions, but it's important, ladies, get to the root cause of the problem. I don't really like to talk about herbs on here. I would say this, it depends on what are you trying to accomplish, right? Because there's so many different types of herbs. Like, what are we trying to accomplish? I will say this, and I do talk about herbs in my courses, but I do say this, if you don't have the foundation right, then stop, because we look at herbs, a lot of people look at herbs as medication. The same way, it can get rid of my problem. And it's not, no, you have to have the foundation right. So I say focus on the foundation before you get to herbs. Because if you're still engaging in the same toxic habits, it's not just diet. I'm gonna keep saying that. The same habits, you don't have your foundation right. The herbs can only do so much, right? So it depends on what you're trying to accomplish. And also, it depends on so many factors. But herbs are great. Again, herbs over supplements, absolutely. But be sure to get the foundation right first. That's number one. That's actually, when we talk about my 15 steps on fibroid elimination, that's one thing I reiterate. Herbs are great, and I talk about what herbs are great for fibroids, but if you don't have this foundation right, forget it, okay? All right, we have to start getting to the root cause of the problem and stop looking for quick fixes, okay? We gotta stop looking for quick fixes. All right, that's pretty much it. Okay, I don't see any other questions. Again, if you wanna work with me, get in my inbox, get on my email. Let's go. All right. Bye.